We've completed restoring your early 1970s Nishijin A Pachinko machine, and this quick start guide will show you how to set it up and play. Now, when we send it back to you, I believe you're going to be putting it in a cabinet or you have your own type of a stand. For anyone else watching this video, you need to do something to stabilize it. You can just simply attach a couple boards to the bottom and that'll keep it stable. You can set it on a table. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to put your own glass in your machine when you get it. So you're going to have to open the play field door, and the way you're going to do that is there is a loop right here, and if you lift up on that loop, it'll pop open the play field door. And I can pull it open. You need to swing it all the way open, and then you can slide your glass in. Now there's two tracks in here, and you need to have something in the track closest to the back. That can either be plexiglass or real glass. I like the sound of real glass, but for now I'm just going to be dropping in a piece of plexiglass. It still has the protective film on it, and I also have a little blue piece of tape on there just to remind me to make sure I take it out before we send it to you. When you close it, you're just going to snap it tight, make sure it's locked. After the back, next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that this metal tab here is flipped over to the right so that this part can move freely. One ball seesaw is in the correct position. This white part back here has a couple pachinko balls in it that act as a counterweight, so the part pivots up and down. Right now it's in the down position, the wrong position. Jackpots won't get paid out, your machine will back up, so you have to reset it by simply just pushing down with your finger here. And you can see that pivoting it. You could also grab this post right here and pivot it. That have a lower track cover, a metal cover. There's a paper clip here. I just want to make sure the cover's closed, otherwise the balls won't feed into the jackpot seesaw properly. So if it happened to get open, you just push it closed. Okay, this cover covers your jackpot seesaw. You just pull down this tab and then lift out and lift up, and you can see your seesaw. If there's ever carpet fuzz or anything in your tracks, because balls need to flow down both tracks into your seesaw, you can clean that. We'll go ahead and lock that back. Here is your ball drain lever, this metal wire here. Right now it's down in the drain position, also open. You need to make sure it's shut. So you got to lift up. Now we can load balls in the machine. If it was down, they would just drain all the way out. Depending on how you're doing this, cabinet or table mount, you need something to catch the balls. You can take some kind of small bucket and set it here. Whenever you drain the balls, like we saw a while ago, they'll come out this chute here. However, if you up in your recycler tray, if it starts to get full, a ball will drop and drain, and you need a bucket there to catch it. I'll just drop one in. And it went through an overflow down into the bucket. So real quick, some other parts back here that we want to cover. As I pull down on the flipper, you can see that long piece of metal moving, trying to move the plane, is it's moving this plastic lever here. And so as that plastic lever is moving, this big piece of plastic is attached to a clear horizontal one that is moving a plastic pin here. So as I'm pulling down, it's moving that plastic pin, which is loading a ball into your shooter lane. Then when I let go, this spring over here is what actually hits the ball and launches it on the play field. So you need to make sure that this part is above that clear pin. There's also a wire here that moves this plastic. You have to make sure that that wire is on the correct side. Also, you have this part here. See how it pivots? If you have a whole bunch of balls backed up in the bottom of your machine in the receiving tray, soon they'll back up in here, and in order to prevent a jam, they had this device which the weight of the balls would cause that to pivot down, and then the next time you flipped, this clear lever would get on the wrong side of this metal part here. So basically, so now when I try and flip, I'm not able to load a ball in the shooter lane because it's being blocked until I pull the balls out of that bottom receiving tray, and then that'll release. So you just have to be careful, because sometimes this part will get on top of that plastic can, so you just need to make sure it's free. Connect your lights. We have them hooked up to a 9-volt battery here, and when I connect this, the light over here came on. That light came on because there's no balls in the supply tray. The weight of the balls causes this long arm here to pivot down, and when it does, it'll activate this switch turning off the light. Now there's another switch over here, and this switch controls this light, which is when you get a jackpot. When you get a jackpot, that light will flash. Now your machine is also wired so that we've got a transformer that will send you as well. In case you want to plug it in the wall, you can just plug that into the wall. On the other end, we added one of these plugs for the 9-volt battery. You plug this plug into this plug. So plug to plug if you want to go off the wall. You never want to take the wall charger and plug this into the battery. Balls to the supply tray, they'll roll down the track, down this chute into your recycler tray, and as they're doing that, you'll see this lever move. What's happening is as balls are filling up this tray, once there's enough balls in this tray, it'll push this rod up, shutting off the flow of balls from here into the tray. Okay, and I usually like to just add a few extra into the recycler tray. Balls to your play tray. Okay, now when we pull down on your flipper, a lot of times you can use this finger rest bar, this post here. Put your index finger against it, pull down on the flipper, then quickly let go. And you have to let go quickly so it'll have enough power to launch your ball across the shooter lane. It'll hit a bumper here, and then it'll bounce back into the playfield. It'll go down the playfield. The spinners can redirect the ball in different directions, and you're trying to get the ball to go into one of these tulips, or one of these pockets, or even this top pocket. You can also get it to go into these pockets here, or your center bowling attraction. If you get the ball to go into any of those areas, you get a jackpot. The balls will pay out, they'll hit a bell on the way down, you'll hear a bell sound, and then the light in the bowling alley will flash. Now the first time you shoot, nothing will happen because it's loading a ball into the shooter lane. So we'll shoot again. And we got a ball to go into this tulip here. So now that tulip's closed, the next time a ball goes in, it'll open. So what you'd like to do is you'd like to get a ball into the open tulips. They're much easier to aim for. So you experiment with how far down you pull down the flipper to try and get the ball to either aim for the center or aim over here. We'll play a little bit. Actually, we'll zoom in for that. Okay, we got several jackpots. I'm now going to open the play tray door, and we're going to take a look at the main attraction, the top pocket. And if the door would have been closed, then the ball would have come out this hole and rolled down and opened up this tulip. If you get one to come down the sides, it'll hit these pins and then hopefully bounce up and in to the bowling alley. And if you get one in the bowling alley, basically these pins just hang there. The ball will just roll by them, and no matter where it goes in here, even if it doesn't even hit any pins, it'll come down here and do just like before, and it'll go into this pocket, but with the door closed, but otherwise it's just going to fall out. So I'll just drop one in the center, and you saw it just kind of push the pins out of the way, and then they fell right back. A lot of jackpots, they'll start to fill up into your play tray, and if the play tray is too full, they'll drop down into your receiving tray. If you need to refill your machine, you got to empty the balls out of here by sliding this lever over to the left, and they'll roll from here to here. Then you can scoop them out in a bucket and refill the back. The weight of the balls can cause them to jam, in which case you might have to take your finger, move the balls out of the way, and you might also have to flip the flipper while you're doing this at the same time if you got a bad jam. Now we'll open the play tray door. Now you might need to do that if you have someone who just does this several times. They're loading lots of balls in the shooter lane, and there might not be enough power to shoot them all the way out. And if that happens, or if you have other debris get in there or something, you have to open this up. So we're going to pop open the playfield door like we saw before. Then we're going to open up the we're going to open up the playfield door. There is a metal latch here. We're going to push down on that. And as we do, we can grab the door, swing it open, and now we have access to the shooter lane, and we can reach in here and grab the balls out that are blocking the path. On the back of the door is the shooter assembly, and here you can see the clear plastic post that sticks through the back. There's a couple balls still in here, so if I pull down on this, it'll kick it out, which is what's happening when it kicks it out and puts it in your shooter lane for you. You can also pinch these two parts right here together and then swing this open in case you have carpet fuzz or anything in here you need to clear out. Then we'll just pinch it closed. Now whenever you want to close the machine, you got to watch out for a couple things. You got to make sure that this post doesn't break. So as you're closing it, it should close smoothly. That post may hit that plastic part in back, in which case you have to reach around back and make sure that plastic part goes above this post. The other thing you want to watch for is this lever right here rides across this metal wire here. What this lever does is when you don't have enough balls in your supply tray and back, in addition to the light coming on, you'll have that orange and black sign drop down. So if I have enough balls, the sign will go out of the way. When I need to add them, it'll drop down. So we're going to go ahead and close this, and as I close this, I often push down on the lever. Okay. Make sure it's tight. Then we'll pull the playfield door, shut it out of the back. We'll push down on the drain lever, and they'll come here. This is this quick start guide. We sure hope you enjoy your machine.